Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Dungeons of Castle Blackmoor at Kilgore's Lair. Today, we got a bunch of interesting things we're going to do. And I'm going to start with my normal discussion of how things go in Tad's game. My table rules are fairly straightforward. I like to have the players roll a lot of things in the tower, and what that lets us do is it makes certain that you're responding to the information that I provide in response to the roll, not the mechanics of the roll. And that just creates a very, very good environment. Second thing is if you are talking in front of the merchant prince about how you're going to hustle him, then odds are the merchant prince will be aware of that and respond to that behavior. So be aware that in character conversations are in character, and I'm going to respond to it in that way. A couple other things. I've been getting some, texts, some emails from different folks asking, hey, what's the difference between what you're doing and what canon is in Dave Arneson's Blackmoor? And very much what we're doing in this game is we're exploring some ideas that I was able to discuss with Dave back when he was still with us about what could be going on with a bunch of different components of Blackmoor and the Dungeons of Castle Blackmoor. And one of the things that Dave very, very, very much believed is that you play the game that makes sense to you, and you play the game that makes sense to your players. So what you're seeing me do is an extrapolation of the base material. And canon is sort of a framework for us to tell stories in, but it's not absolute. And for any of us, for any of you, there is no absolute right or wrong in terms of how you choose to interpret the world. You just enjoy it and you have a good time with it. And to give folks some context about what I did for Dave, everybody sitting here, I think with the exception of Jimmy, worked on the MMRPG, which was the Living Style campaign. And I was campaign director for about 2 years towards the end of the campaign. And I wrote a ton of things for that campaign. And likewise, I was able to write a book for Dave called Riders of Hawk based on the work I'd done with the Peshwa. And I also, helped edit and help provide a little bit of material also, like the Elderkin was one of the players, one of the PC types in the Character's Guide to Blackmoor, and I helped write that and helped edit that. So we are also talking about, and I'm very much thinking about doing a stream called Blackmoor Lore, where we talk about different historical components of Blackmoor, like the Dungeons of Castle Blackmoor, or the Wizards Cabal, or the Regency Council, or what makes Commodity different from other folks, what are Decry, what's their history, things like that, and talking about the conversions that could come with that for 5e, but also talking about what the history it is and how you can sort of pick and choose the components that make sense for you in your game, tell the story that interests you. Finally, I have outstanding collection of animals that love me. And one of them is Sally. And Sally, our dog, believes it's her duty to guard us in the entire world. And I do not have a fully functioning studio. I have sort of my computer niche, like most of us nerds do. Occasionally, Sally may celebrate the fact that someone has come to intrude on the borders of the household. If that is the case, just go with it. We will. That being said, why don't we do some quick introductions here? So, Jimmy, talk about your character and who you are and what you've done so far, and let's talk about what you've learned so far about Blackmoor and your character too.
My name is Jimmy. You can find me at Fort Santo on Twitch. Um, I'm playing Delbert. Delbert is a Hythonian wizard. Um, he's he's very family oriented.
Bank, also known as Jen. Let's talk about your character, who you are, what you've learned so far, and um, what you're trying to accomplish with your character.
So I'm Jen playing Bank, which does make the whole name association very easy for me. She is a lovely little gnome artificer who is the smartest gnome ever, which means that she is like way smarter than all of the humans in the party, and probably the Dokiri as well. She is obsessed with researching and finding out new things, which will most likely get the party killed. And she just found, like, in killing things and applying a staple gun of healing, that there's new sigils and stuff already in this first level of the Blackmoor dungeon. So bring it on.
All right. PJ, would you like to talk about Idris?
Sure. Idris is a narcissistic paladin who doesn't believe in family, so he's a great foil for what's going on with Delbert over there. Everything that's probably happening with Delbert is not happening with Idris's family. It's a not very close knit group of people who can't stand to be around each other. And so instead of being around them, he's decided to go into the Castle of Blackmoor because that sounds safer. Also, there's probably stuff down there he wants or thinks he could use in order to, you know, maybe bring about some kind of revolution of disenfranchised second, third, and fourth nobles or something. But he's constantly moving from scheme to scheme to scheme, basically, trying to figure out what's going to get him in the best place that's going to serve him, you know, better than anything else that's going on right now for him.
I would
An
like
opportunist.
I would like to note that the first of the session did not come from the DM.
Busted.
I'm also not from the Midwest, so bro is my slang of choice.
So Matt is still the camera and visually impaired. He's in Puerto Rico and he has his device almost to him. But Matt, why don't you talk about Penny and yourself and what you've discovered so far?
Well, Penny is a Dokray, which is a Blackmoorian type of halfling, more stout and hardy and warrior-like than most typical halflings. Um, she is horribly scarred on one side of her face due to imprisonment at the hands of the Vile Afridi, which are fire warrior folks. Um, what she has learned so far since adventuring with these fine folks into the Castle Blackmoor is why some of them may be quite intelligent. They are maybe not the wisest of individuals and will scream out in the middle of a dungeon with hostile creatures where it's very quiet and echoey and attempts to get us all killed.
So I guess it's fair to say she has concerns about everyone's tactical acumen. Is that correct?
I believe that would be a fair assessment of how Penny is looking at this current situation.
Well, when last we met, y'all had. I said y'all, excuse me. When last we met, a bunch of you had descended down into the dungeons of Castle Blackmoor for the first time. And as you had approached the doors, the gatekeeper and Kamasi elves that serve with him had made you kind of swear a series of oaths to make certain you understood what the consequences for the descent were going to be. And they had opened up the doors of the dungeon. And piled up to the top of the doors, which are 40 foot tall, thick adamantine structures, were skulls. And those poured out and surrounded you. And of course, the Kamasti warden and his bodyguard were able to respond directly to that and help remove it as a threat. And they pointed out to you that that was rather unusual and they hadn't seen that happen before. So that being said, you decided to proceed and you descended down into the basement level of the Dungeons of Castle Blackmoor to a room that has been around for an extended period of time and has been explored at length. And therein, you encountered a rather bizarre and interesting carrier crawler. I mean, you determined that it was a carrion crawler based on the experiences that you've had and some of the research that you've done, but it was different colored than you had seen before, and you had found a symbol on it that you thought was rather interesting, and it was inscribed in the back of its carapace on its back. And you hadn't quite determined yet what that meant, but you had looked at it, found it, and we're in the process of sort of deciding what to do next. Now, in that encounter with the carrion crawler, it was pretty nasty, hard, aggressive creature. It slammed Idris to the ground, and you almost lost him. Although Penny deployed one of the devices she had, which is directly derived from arcane science, and used, I believe it was a staple gun to seal his wounds. And he was brought back from the edge, and you were standing around or on point guarding as you investigated this creature and figured out what your next course of action was. Let me recap the tactical situation as I understand it, and you can let me know if that matches with your understanding. Penny is on guard, standing on point, making certain that no one sneaks up on you. Let's see, Jenna Bink is almost doing a field autopsy on the carrion crawler and has found it incredibly interesting. Delbert is standing above her and behind her, sort of overseeing that, and Idris is sitting on the stairs, sort of nursing his wounds and observing the overall situation. Does that sort of recap to everyone where you are at this moment?
I am actually touching myself and getting better.
I understand completely. All right. Idris, you feel substantially better, and you feel the power of Odir flow through you, and your wounds begin to stitch and heal. All right, very good. Um, what would you like to do, folks?
Has she cut it all the way open?
Yeah, how
Jenna,
far through my autopsy am I?
you had looked over the overall body, and you discovered that this animal had been wounded, that there were bolts sticking out of it, small hand crossbow sized bolts, based on the penetration and the angle. You also had discovered on the back of the carapace that there was a mark that was really hard to note, actually. I mean, you just managed to identify it because it actually looks like it's almost a deformation in the carapace, like it's a natural feature. It's not like it's an inscribed glowing rune, but it just looked distinct to you. And you determined that, that was odd. It looked like it was intentional based on exactly where it was placed. It was placed right above where the brainstem would be. And you had begun to crack open the carapace and were squealing kind of in excitement when Penny turned back around, looked over her shoulder, and went, shh. So that's where you are.
I
Is
read.
Penny really a shh kind of Dokrai?
I actually think that she said, can you make any more noise? I think that's the exact quote.
Matter of fact, Penny is going to move back over and pick up the hooded lantern that was gently placed on the ground by, I believe,
Right.
Delbert. Listen, guys, if you could use your I'm inside a dungeon and everything in here wants to kill me voices, that would be great from here on out, okay? Because next time somebody screams real loud, the things in here trying to kill them might not just be the monsters, okay? We capiche? We good?
Oh, well, yes, I suppose that I should keep my research as quiet as possible before I publish it. Okay.
Yeah. We don't want anybody trying to steal your artistic license or any of that kind of stuff, right? You know, any of the knowledge and arcane science you're spewing.
I'm glad we understand each other.
Good. Now, well, mum's the word. All right. I'm gonna go look around again to make sure you didn't alert everything in the whole kingdom to our presence here. So I'll be right back.
Show me where you're going.
Okay, using the hooded lantern, I'm gonna move back down over here and just kind of try and see to the southwest and south of our position while they're doing their arcane science over there.
I turn back to Jenna Bank and I say, I read in one of the local gazetteers there were a bunch of fishermen and a sheriff who gutted a shark to see what it had eaten, and we may want to here to find out what's going on in this dungeon.
Oh, that's a very good point. I can study, in addition to everything else, the gastrointestinal fortitude and situation of this creature.
Yes.
So yes, she will go, forearms deep in this thing and cut it open.
All right. Go ahead and make a nature or survival. I'll let you make the choice yourself. Okay. You are able to split the side of its neck, pry it open, get down through its track, and you are seeing looks. There's a whole bunch of fluid that's really hard to define as you get down into its gullet. It almost seems like you're not finding a lot of bone fragment. You do find some chunks of what looks like carapace, like another creature or insect inside of its intestine. And as you pop through it and sort of dump out the this clop of just nasty stomach acid and partially digested things sort of loops out. Go ahead and give me a medicine check real quick. It's kind of nasty, and it's definitely stomach acid, but you're not quite certain what it was eating and digesting, but you can see chunks of carapace. So you were able to open it up very expertly. All right, this is like when you were in your arcane science classes doing vivisection of various assorted animals, you deploy those skills exquisitely, but you're not quite certain as you look at the contents of its stomach exactly what it was eating, although you are finding fragments of carapace. Doesn't seem to be anything inorganic in its gullet.
It seems to eat a lot of things like itself. So maybe they're cannibals.
They're
I wonder
terribly
what else is around
fascinating.
here. I am very curious what creatures would have stuck it with crossbow bolts. So clearly there are other denizens down here. So as much as I hate to admit it, Penny might be right about the being quiet thing.
I wonder what these markings mean.
I don't know.
How big are the crossbow bolts?
Excuse me, what?
How big are the crossbow bolts?
Looks like a hand crossbow or a light crossbow.
But a regular size,
Yeah.
a medium size. Okay.
Do you suppose somebody bred this thing on purpose? Are these like branding like cattle?
I suppose it's possible. More investigation.
And these larger piles are piles of trash, right? Or I guess bones and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, there's some refuse, there's some broken furniture. There are a few skeletons laying here also.
And he's going to move up to this large pile of refuge and continue to search about the area, trying to do it as stealthily as possible with a lantern.
All right, give me a stealth roll in the tower. You're going to be quiet, but the light you're projecting in front of you is still being projected in front of you. So it's going to be hard to sneak up on anything down here when you're carrying that light.
Jenna is going to go join Penny to see, because clearly there are interesting things to investigate over that way. And she will not talk, but she's not really going to be stealthy either, because that's not in her repertoire.
All right, Jen, make a charisma check. You are covered in various assorted bodily fluids from this critter, and you are quite odoriferous. May not be pleasant for everyone. And you may also carry a scent with you as you move.
I think she's still going to move.
Okay, very good. Come on up. All right, that's what you can see right now of this room. And that big old pile immediately to your, that big old pile that Jenna Bink is now standing in front of, smashed furniture. There looks to be, if you're looking down at it, you can see a desiccated rat corpse, like a normal Norwegian black rat. Is sticking in it also, and it's had its shoulder and its head ripped off, and all the juiciest parts sucked out of its body cavity. Looks like barrels, looks like shattered furniture. And as you're crossing, there are, laying on the ground here, um, looks like humans, skeletons laying on the ground. And they're dressed in rotted clothes. One of them's dressed in what looks to be very corroded and damaged chainmail.
Um, Janet, I think you should get away from that pile. It smells like something died in there. I don't know what you moved inside that pile of crap over there, but it smells like something crawled in there and died inside of something else.
Oh
So,
no, that's me because I was crawling into the intestines of the carrion crawler to investigate.
Mind if I take care of that?
Oh, can you? Because I
Well,
haven't
cast-
figured out a gadget for that yet.
I'll cast prestidigitation and give her a spritz.
Delbert rubs his hands together and gestures, and as he does, we have pure Disney effect here, just so we're all clear. You have been bibbity bobbity booed.
She will twirl appropriately to go with the magic.
And you're clean.
Dad, is that a door to the west? Like a little.
Can you do that like all
Point
the
and show me
time?
where.
Yeah, more or less.
That means I can investigate and I don't have
Yes.
to worry about smelling awful. Thank you.
You have seen
Indeed.
you have seen a door there. A
How
door
long
there.
is
All right. That door is closed.
I will investigate the door to see if it's trapped and or locked.
No, it is not locked. Door has been secured and closed. That's all.
Okay. I will slowly crack the door and try and peek in. As quietly as possible.
Door creaks a little bit as you open it. Hang on a second. I gotta get back in mask mode.
I'm in a prepared stance, ready to fire something deadly off into the void behind the door, in case it's
All right.
needed.
About half that distance, you can see clearly. About half of it is just sort of faded light. You can see different sort of floor here. It has more cut stone tiles. This is 10 feet wide or 20 feet wide, 10 feet tall, 15 feet tall actually, and it runs in a straight line as far away as you can see, and it's cut stone on either side.
Dilbert, sweetheart, be a doll and hold this. And keep it out of my eyes. And I'll give it
Penny, you got actually really, really good investigation roll. When you were checking out the door, you can see on the rim of the door there is where the molding sits. All right, there are little finger places where you can place your finger, and they seem to slide. And it's at human height. I mean, you had to reach up to the top. It would be like this on a human, but you can feel that on this side of the door and over on this side of the door, there's a thing that you can slide. What do?
I'll attempt to slide it. I'm more curious than cautious.
So, I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm gonna attempt to slide it.
Which side do you try and slide first?
It's on the left or right side of the door.
You slide the left side, and the door actually widens, so it is the full length of the hallway. When you slide the other side, it shrinks back down to just a single width.
So what happens with the molding that the door is in?
It just sort of expands out.
With
So
it?
so what you have to do is you have to go to the other side. You have to walk around to the other side and close it. It looks to you like one side opens it and one side closes it. And basically what happens is it goes from a 5-foot door to a 20-foot door.
Did I see this happen?
Yes.
Please tell me I saw this happen.
You saw this.
I'm going to rush over and see exactly what he did. Do it again! Do it again! And I'm whispering. I'm like stage whispering.
Alright, so all I did was I put my fingers here and I slid it up like this, and then I put my fingers here and I slid it down like that. Not arcane science, not any crazy magic. Just me sliding my fingers. Door gets bigger, door gets smaller. Don't really know how it works. We don't really need to find out right now.
You think arcane science is?
I am totally investigating this.
So what are you going to do, Jen? Are you going to investigate it? And then,
Yes.
okay, so first you need to investigate it. Drop that number in the tower. It's incredibly cool. It's a thingy, of sorts that has what's-its that slide.
Could I possibly replicate the Whoosies and Whatsits?
With additional research and perhaps disassembly. Going down the
I kind
hallway
of
a little
look.
bit more.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue
I,
going
I
down.
look back at Delbert.
Hey, do you think I could take this apart? Do you think he'd mind? Would that make too much noise?
Listen,
If you'd like to take it apart,
you
by all
all
means take it apart. But there's plenty of time to do that. Right now, let's investigate this hallway. What do you say?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Dilbert, I'm gonna need
Yeah.
you to stand 10 feet behind me with that light. Keep it out of my eyes, and we're gonna go down this hallway and figure out what's going on in this place. Okay? Jenna, don't touch anything.
Sure. And I'll have my unseen servant follow him with the light.
All right, so are you the unseen servant not carrying a torch anymore, and we're just carrying the lantern with your unseen servant?
Yes, I'll
right.
douse the torch and use the lantern.
Does the unseen servant require concentration, just for my reference?
It does not.
Excellent. All right, let's establish the marching order in a formal way and move down the hallway.
Is Idris taking up the rear?
Sure.
Since I need to be able to see him in order to direct this light, I will be next in line.
Am I the only party member with dark vision?
Yes.
Fantastic.
That's as far as you can see with the lantern right now. And I've actually moved it forward a little bit. You guys want me to just slide you forward a little bit? Okay. Delbert's supposed to be about 10 feet behind, correct?
Well, I think he's using the unseen servant now, right? So.
All right.
Well, I'm following as well.
All right. So I'm going to sort of cheat a little bit and move you guys up
Cheater.
to about where you would be. All right, you see an archway emerging off in the distance, Penny. A large double archway. Looks like it opens up into another room, but the other room is lost in darkness to you. You can't see exactly what it is.
I will approach the archway closer. Again, I'll be investigating as I'm moving to make sure there's no what's-its or things on the floor.
All right, so what you're doing basically is you're walking along slow speed, eyes on the ground, looking for traps, making certain that there's no tracks, things like that, right?
Yeah, no tripwires, tracks, any giant holes in the ground that could lead us to our inevitable demise, that kind of stuff.
All right, very good. Go ahead. There is quite a bit of dust on the ground here, so go ahead and make a survival check in the tower for me.
Sure.
All right. There has been, moving along the floor here, looks like rats, some, and vermin of some sort. Might be spiders, might be carrion crawler, but there's been some vermin moving along here too. Fairly steadily, it's disturbed to dust. You don't have a solid sheet of dust, but they've been burning through it. All right. You see four-way archway in front of you. Looks like there's an intersection there.
Okay. And that's as far as we can see into
with the
the
lamp.
westerly.
Yeah. You know.
Okay. I'll move up closer to the archway, see if I can see around the corners.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure.
Um, one of the things Fantasy Grounds in this iteration doesn't do real well is let you unmask at angles. The Unity version is supposed to be a little bit better at that. But what you do when you get closer is, you can see just fairly in mist. There seem to be some stairs going down here, and then there's hallway to your left and your right. And there is a breeze flowing past you that seems to be coming from up the stairs. Smells a little dank, a little putrid.
Hmm.
And honestly, the air just smells wrong here. To be honest with you, it just smells wrong.
I'm gonna point left and point right, and then shrug my shoulders back at the group.
Idris raises his hand in an L with his left hand.
I'll shrug and move out here and look down the left.
All right. Light source is giving you pretty much all you can get based on the angle right now.
Hey, Dilbert, move that thing behind me down to the left and the right so I can see both ways.
All right. Summon DM nerd.
Did you hear me, Dilbert?
What'd you say? No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I asked, can you move the unseen servant behind me, then move it left and right so I can see what's down these hallways?
That acts as your unseen servant.
Oh, sure. And I'll move it down, move it left.
I just need you to rotate.
All right.
I don't actually need you to move it. I just need it behind me and then facing in the directions we're looking.
From there, how far can you move that thing anyhow?
30 feet from my position.
All right, cool. There's a double set of doors up there, and this hallway stretches away from you.
The one going south?
Yeah.
Okay. That's one I think we are planning on going that way. So let's head down.
60 feet, my bad.
Okay.
Careful with those stairs. They smell real funny.
Yeah, Jenny, you were getting left in the dark, which is a huge deal for you.
She's our only dark vision person.
She is. All right. When that rolls forward, you see another archway, and it opens up into another room. And that's in dim light. All right, you come rolling up into it. All right, there we go. Okay. As you come in here and you're looking across through the archway, there's four large old barrels, what's called a ton, if you've ever made wine or been in a winery, and they are showing water lines that have sort of receded over time, so you can see, sort of chemicals that have leached into the wood. And there's sort of a faint smell of vinegar coming towards you as you get closer.
Who's
Um,
making wine down here?
I'm gonna see if I can see more at an angle to the southeast.
There you can. There is what looks like actually a well there, and then there's two doors here.
I'd like to um, I'd like to know when the last time um, Castle Blackmoor was occupied uh, and the dungeon underneath Castle Blackmoor was available for its citizens to use, or its.
Uh, it's been active again for about 9 years. And in that 9 years, for about 3 years, the top three, four levels they attempted to live in. But there were just continual events. And rumor has it that they were physically, they, meaning Uther's house guard, and his staff were physically driven from the dungeons of Castle Blackmoor. And they have, increased greater and greater security as a direct result of that. So they retook the castle, pushed the orcs out, tried to stay underneath it, and have not been successful maintaining a presence, and really started amping up exploration once they had been repulsed.
Okay.
So you were saying it smells like vinegar. Can I, with my keen chemical knowledge, figure out like is it the smell of wine that has turned into vinegar? Do I know how long that process would take if it had been wine originally?
Um, yeah, I mean, if it were wine originally and it weren't in the right conditions, wine can go bad in vinegar in as quickly as 18 months. Especially if it's not in a secured location. By that I mean like if it's in a bottle or sealed tightly to cask where oxygen can't get to it, it will stay good for an extended period of time. But if it isn't airtight and oxygen get to it, oxidization is the process and it'll cause it to turn to vinegar fairly quickly. Some wines are more resilient to it, some aren't.
Okay, so my carbon dating here will not work. Gotcha.
Are there taps on there?
There are.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and take my empty water skin and fill one up all the way.
Which one?
The first one.
All right. Um, there are around your feet as you're, bend down and you hit the tap, all right, because it's kind of low. It looks like it's, designed for a pitcher. It comes pouring right out at you. It smells like vinegar, and you see. Go ahead, give me a perception check in the tower.
Give me a second.
No problem, man.
There we go. And then I'm gonna throw a hero point at it because why not?
Go ahead and roll another d6. I'll factor that in. All right. Dude, you're looking down and you start to see a bunch of little spiders start to roll out from underneath it as some of the vinegar hits the ground and splashes underneath as it overflows your cup. And there's a swarm of these little buggers, quite literally, pouring out. Initiative, please. All right. Swarm of spiders is starting to pour out from underneath that particular ton. Okay. Top of the order. Penny, Delbert yells that there's... Delbert, not Delbert. Idris, what do you say?
The wine's gone bad.
Your passive perception is sufficient enough to see a huge swarm of spiders start to pour out from underneath it, go up along the wall, and start to climb all over Idris. Go right ahead. What would you like to do?
Um, you know, shooting at Idris has always been a goal of mine, so I will attempt to get some of the swarms off by pulling out my bow and shooting at them.
Okay. They are technically going to have cover right now, but just factor that into your roll.
Okay, so the -2.
Yep.
All right.
Penny shifts into position, pulls up with her bow, and arrow skids through the heart of the swarm as it covers the front of the wine barrel and starts to roll towards Idris. Go ahead and roll your damage, please.
I'm gonna roll that one more time just to see if it's a crit. It's not. All right, because I had advantage on that, but all right.
Okay. Arrow skids through them and does some damage. They apparently not as much as you would have expected, although this is probably the first time you shot at a swarm of bugs. You done, Penny?
I am done.
Delbert. Jimmy, you're muted.
The
I'm
spiders
just
have
going to step
silenced.
away from the spiders.
All right. Anything else or no?
Not at this time.
All right. Very good. Jenna, you're up.
I will attempt to go squish spiders with my spear.
Very good. You are able to, with the flat of your blade, squish a chunk of them. You're whack, whack, whack. Hit with the butt, whack. Idris, you're up.
I'm going to, I guess, withdraw.
All right.
No, they're a swarm. No,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna walk back 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Smile at them, and you better move and pull out my. As I'm backing away, I'm dropping all the vinegar that was in my wineskin in a line on the floor as I back away, and I pull out my tinderbox.
Are you done?
Yep.
Hang on a sec.
Does vinegar burn?
Well, if you paid attention in winemaking classes, it does at temperatures over 119 degrees.
Spiders roll over onto Genebank.
How much am I currently regretting my life choices?
That's funny, Jen. They are all over you, trying to get inside your armor, biting and stinging you. No damage, though. All right, round 2. Penny, these spiders are all over Genebank. And Idris is retreated and looks like he's trying to light something.
I'm going to attempt to shoot spiders off of Genebank. I'm real accurate with this. Don't worry.
Okay, that counts as full cover with them all over her. If you're not concerned, if you're trying not to do damage to her, so that'd be a -5 to hit.
Okay, I will take it.
And you hit. I don't know how to describe this. Okay, this is what happens. So Jenna whips around and she's pounding on them, right, trying to get the spiders off of her. And this arrow comes in at an angle, skids across her chest, bounces off her chest, and hits her shield. She's like, looks over at Penny as Penny's like, yeah, well, I can do that.
There's
Penny,
there's,
go
there's
ahead.
less spiders on you now.
Delbert, what would you like to do?
Oh, the only thing I'm good at this point. If he's trying to light that, then I'm going to move up here next to him and bring my torch, my or the lantern up in this general area.
So you go running past Jenna to go up by Delbert, correct? Or
Yes.
Idris, correct?
Yeah.
Jenna, what would you like to do?
I would like to not be covered in spiders. So apparently everyone is retreating outside of the room, so I too will do that. I'm going to kind of jump a little bit in place and then move to hopefully, like, get the spiders off of me. I'm assuming the swarm doesn't just come with me.
It does not now.
Fantastic. And then when I am sufficient space away, I will cast acid splash on it.
Acid there successfully splashed, and that damage, um, they are fully impacted by that. All right, Idris, you're up.
I'm gonna take out my torch, strike it with the tinderbox, and throw it in the large concentration up there by the swarm.
Go ahead and roll it, please.
Sure. Oh, we don't get proficiency with it. So.
Yeah, you don't have improvised and thrown anything, so.
Bam!
Nice.
Don't need it.
Don't need it, brother. So you
I play
flip.
darts. I play darts.
All right. It lands. So go ahead and roll a d6, and I'll inflict that damage.
Cool.
As the vinegar catches on fire. All right. This is a much less impressive swarm than it once was. And it, let's see, fitty fitty. All right. It scurries over onto Penny. And she's covered in spiders trying to sting and bite her. All right, top of the order, Penny.
All right, Penny will drop her bow. Actually, no, Penny's gonna just move out of the swarm with her bow and shoot at it from here.
Okay. Hits. All right. The swarm is dissipating, and the spiders are heading in all sorts of directions, moving away from you.
I look over at Genevieve and I look at her and I go, wine science, one of my best classes.
What I can't understand is how your flames on an acid base were as effective as my actual acid gun gadget. This makes absolutely no sense from a physical standpoint.
It's called magic. We're surrounded by it. It's a magical world.
All right, new rule now. All right, remember Jenna, how I said you can't touch anything? Idris, you're also now in the no touching things group. Dilbert, you're still okay to touch things for now. Okay? So just so we all
Agreed.
understand.
I walk up to Penny and I go, boop.
I swear to God, Idris, I'm not even gonna lie to you. When you go missing down in this dungeon, it ain't gonna be my fault, okay?
That's right. That's right.
Wait,
It's never anyone's fault.
I need clarification on this rule set. Am I allowed to touch things in order to kill them if they are attacking us? And am I allowed to touch things that are already dead so I can investigate them?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm touching the floor. I'm touching the walls. I'm touching Delbert.
You lit this
Unfortunately,
thing on
those
fire. Were you expecting the casks to explode? Because
Yes, I was actually hoping for a much more dramatic explosion for a better story. So now I'm just gonna have to lie about it and say it did explode. But I mean, who wants to hear about spiders that just got partially burned? I want explosions. It's got to be great. Bards have to be singing about it. I don't want to end up like that crazy guy singing songs you guys told me about. What was it he used to say to you guys?
The coot, the coot, the coot.
As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, that's such a good song. You can't help having it.
Yes.
Need something better.
I did explain to you when we told that story, though, that my theory that bards are completely ineffective. So clearly,
They're
we
in-
don't want the bards singing.
They're
They're
ineffective at
inaccurate.
everything except
Bard
making money with their
songs-
voices.
Bard songs are not peer reviewed.
they should be, shouldn't they?
They should, absolutely. We should make a movement, Delbert. Peer-reviewed Bard songs at the Bard College. I mean, they call it a college, for God's sakes.
How much stuff is still left in that cask?
It's probably about 20% full. And now that you're looking at it, you can see that there's wet marks on each of the barrels, and they're
Yep.
between about almost empty and about 30%. The one on the end about 30% full.
I'm gonna shake each of them and see if they make a noise other than liquid.
Go ahead and I'm going to look on your character sheet. I don't want to.
Athletics?
I don't want to stat shame you.
Wow.
next swarm of things that comes out of one of those, I'm
Athletics,
just gonna let
please.
them eat you.
But you know, Jennabank, you could argue that once they've been sung for a crowd, they've been peer reviewed.
All right, so Idris walks up, puts one hand on the each of the tubs, sort of lifts it off the ground and drops it. Lifts it off the ground and drops it, and you hear sploosh, 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 sploosh. Everybody give me a perception check, please.
It's never good.
You see, I work out. It's like my mom always said, mom strength.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
I should have
That's okay.
should have popped that in the tower.
I'm gonna throw another hero point at that for giggles.
Nice.
All right. Delbert, good enough. Delbert hears, and Galen actually hears. On the first container, all right, when you lift it up and you kind of drop it, you hear a crunch like a glass bottle breaking.
Inside the thing.
Underneath it as you lift it up and drop it.
Okay. I'm gonna get down on my hands and knees and look underneath.
Smells like really good brandy. Oh, damn it.
I lick it.
Huh?
I lick it.
You put your fingers in and lick it, seriously?
Yeah, you gotta know what was down here.
Yeah, and you can see that there's some glass shards. There was a really, really good bottle of brandy stashed underneath here.
I've tasted one of the finest brandies in the world. Mark it down.
Go ahead and make an investigation check while you're down here.
What else is down there?
Lots of things you should look. And I'm gonna throw another hero point at that.
Jennabank is looking down the well and carefully not touching it, just looking down it.
Idris, you don't really see anything. It's boring here now. Jenna's looking down the well. Delbert, what are you doing?
I'm gonna move over here, spin around, of course, and I'm going to lower the lantern down the well
All right. It's apparent
and
to you,
investigate it.
it's apparent to you that there used to be a wood structure. Jenna's right there too, right? Were you doing the same thing, Jenna?
Yes.
All right.
Penny is supervising everyone doing everything, waiting for the next dumb thing.
Oh, all right. Delbert, you're looking down there, and you can see on either side there's what used to be obviously a wood frame. So there was
Okay.
a wood frame probably that a bucket would go down that's been pulled down or is gone. And you are looking down, and as you drop it down to 60 feet, this seems to go straight down out of sight. Now, sort of at the limits of your vision, probably about 100 feet down, you can see that there are, looks like rusted steel spikes pointing up, and there seems to be another set pointing down in either direction. And there's space in the center that maybe Penny could squeeze through, but most folks wouldn't be able to squeeze through it. And you can see also what looks to be some webbing down in there along the length of it. So this is really relevant for Penny. Penny, go ahead and make a perception check right now. And Idris, you can too, because of where you're standing. Damn, Penny. Okay.
Right. Here you go.
Are those cobwebs down there? Do you
Yeah,
see them?
that's what they look like, yeah.
I'm saying that out loud.
All right. So, here we go.
You should really pour one of these barrels down there and light it.
That's not a terrible idea.
You're welcome.
Oh, for the love of everything holy.
Oh, yikes.
Wine science.
Is this where we roll initiative again, Todd?
It is actually. Whoops.
So when's Jenna getting that arachnophobia flaw?
I'm wondering.
All right. It's going to get a round of surprise. All right. Just cause. And what it does is it comes down across the ceiling in the other room, comes down behind the door, reaches down behind the drawer, and Jenna is standing. Oh, Jenna's standing right there. Not all right. Jenna, you needed to make that perception check. Excuse me. I got confused as to who my short people were. Yeah. Okay. Nobody really notices what's going on, and Dilbert is checking out the well. I'm going to assume that Jenna was also checking out the well. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Jenna, you are completely wrapped in web strands. This thing points its oviductor at you, and a bunch of web comes out, wraps around your head and face, grabs your hands, and you are restrained, and you fall over prone. Top of the order, round one. Penny, there is behind you a spider that has just restrained Jetabank.
Is there one or two spiders? Because it looks like two on the map.
There is just one.
Okay. I will back up and shoot at that spider.
All right.
Oh, I missed the call for initiative. I'm sorry.
That's okay, roll.
So
Outstanding.
I kept you. You could have stayed where you were at.
I could have, but I don't want to cheat.
Penny whips around to Penny. That would be cover. It doesn't matter with that roll. All right, because it's attacking. It was attacking from behind the door, but you hit. I'm good. All right, and you slap it for a nice chunk of damage. And all right, Jetabank,
Okay.
what would you like to do?
Is it occupying the same area as I am right now?
It is above you, in the arch of the doorway.
Okay, that's unfortunate. How can I get out of this restraining web thing?
You can fight your way out of it, actually. Hang on, how many spiders do we have in there?
One may be a token, and one may have been the actual. You just
Right.
deleted it off the tracker. Yeah.
So do I make a strength save? Check.
All right. Hang on a second. I am demessing up my space.
We're time traveling.
There was no spider.
The
All
spider was
right.
a lie.
All right. There is a spider, and I'm having a hard time making it visible for some reason.
Probably because it's partially in the masking area.
Yeah, you may
There
have
we
to.
go. Yeah, there we go. I made it visible now, and you see the rest of that room. There we go. All right, Jenna. So technically, it is on the ceiling above you. You're looking up. If here's the door frame, it was around. It's up on the top of the door frame, directly above you, separated by about 5 feet.
And how high is this room?
That's about a 10-foot tall room. You could stand and strike it once you break through, but you are going to need a. DC, you're going to need a strength check to break loose, or you can try and cut your way out if you had a way to cut your way out.
Well, I'm holding my spear. Can I use my spear?
You could attempt to use your spear, yes.
Hmm. I'm. I will attempt to use my spear.
Okay.
Do I need to roll to attack myself?
Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the spear tip underneath the web and cut it. So it's only an armor class 10, but you have to strike it.
Oops.
All right. Being restrained makes it harder to hit. You're unsuccessful.
I guess that's all I can do. This
You,
is not good for research.
you can use harsh language. That's completely allowed.
This is not good for
So
research.
you see Jenna, shield trapped up against her, taking her spear and rolling side to side and trying to cut her way out of the webs. Idris,
Why would you ruin such perfectly good spider silk armor now that it's on you? Step up. Let's pour one of those inspirations off. Get some advantage up in here. Can I swing on the spider from here?
yes you can.
Alright, yeah, let's do that. Okay. With the longsword.
You hit.
Alright. Minimum effort. Try not to damage the silk.
The spider decides it doesn't like being swung at and bites you.
Wouldn't be the first time a lady's done that.
You do not, let's see, you do not make your saving throw against the bite, and you take additional damage. What? Oh, system shock's turned on. I gotta go turn that off. It's a preset. Give me a second here. That's not relevant. So we are actually gonna time travel. All right, Idris, let me fix you. All right, got to make a saving throw here, Idris. Would you like to? Well, let's see. You are successful in your saving throw against the spider's poison.
Excellent.
Delbert.
I can see the spider, yes?
Yes, you can. So, figure you're in your house and something is in the door frame above you attacking around the door frame, it has cover, so it's a -2 to hit it unless you're in melee with it. But at distance, it's got -2 to hit for cover. So you can see it. It's right there. And Genevink's rolling around on the ground. Dober just stepped up and swung at it. It bit him, and he grunts pretty loud. Genevink is setting her bow to strike again. What do you do?
A dolorous spell sound fills the air as I cast Toll the Dead.
Boom. It does not save, and it is wounded.
Awesome.
You see it curl up, and its carapace cracks a little bit. Round 2. Penny, you're up.
Cruciato.
Alright, that inspiration stuff seems pretty good. Penny's going to use that as well. And shoot at it. With -2, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Arrow punctures it, and it falls on the ground, bouncing off of Genevink, who continues to roll, wrapped in spider, or in the spider webs. All right, you guys are out of initiative. Idris, you are hurt. All right, that wound, there's green ichor seeping out of where the spider bit you up next to your neck through your armor. Pierced the chainmail that, protects the side of your neck, and you can see that there's a little bit of toxin oozing out of it. Genevink, you're able to tear your way free relatively quickly now. And Delbert, it's dead. Penny, it's dead.
One of you needs to put your mouth on my neck and suck it out. Right now. Let's go. I can't reach it. Come on. Somebody else.
I think the spider already put its mouth on your neck and sucked some stuff out.
It definitely looks like it sucks.
You need help cutting out of those webs or something?
No, I'm good.
I got a knife.
I do want
drink a
to.
potion.
I am going to investigate this spider and see if I see that same sigil anywhere on this spider.
All right, go ahead.
Keep talking when I'm muted.
You don't seem to find a mark on this one. No, you go over it fairly effectively.
Okay.
All right.
And nothing else unusual, I assume?
No. Would you like to use a hero point?
Sure.
All right. Different symbol. You haven't seen this one before.
Delbert, look! Delbert, look!
I'll come over and look. It has a symbol on its back as well.
Yeah.
On the back of its neck.
On the back of its neck, yeah. And there was some fungus that had grown over it, and as you brushed it off, you could see it. And it looks like it's grown into the carapace.
This one is different than the one before. What do you suppose it means?
I don't know. We must investigate more. Quick, we need to. If I yell really loud, do you think we'll find more things to kill quicker?
Jenna, if you yell real loud, the only thing you're going to be finding is the bottom of that well.
Nice.
Penny, you may have your inspiration back.
How heavy is the giant spider?
It's about 45 pounds, 50 pounds. It's relatively light, actually.
Compared to, like, one of the casks?
compared to the casts. The casts are
Yeah.
much heavier, much heavier. Figure that a pint is a pound, and at 10%, there was still about 50 gallons in one. You just rolled a ridiculous athletics check, and I let you be all grandstandy and stuff.
Cool. I'm gonna take out my 100 feet of silk rope, tie it off to one of the casks, or two of them actually, and be like, "Who wants to go down with me?" I'll take that as a no. Bums away, people.
Okay, you gonna go down in that hole?
I'll bring the lantern up and
Yeah.
You want me to hold your money before you go down there? In case,
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't bring any money with me.
Oh, you got any like family rings, or jewelry or something you want me to hold to get back to people?
Nope. My
Oh,
will has already been made out. Everything goes with me.
okay, well, vaya con Dios. Good luck, man.
All right, you have the rope secured on the tub. It's about 5 feet across, so it's fairly easy to wedge yourself. You may make your athletics check with advantage.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm gonna put the rope under me and like do the kind of like layer myself down. All right.
I'm watching this whole thing because clearly, if Idris is doing it, it can't be a good idea.
It's always a good idea.
All right, you're climbing the rope, so you're able to go down until it's about 100 feet down, where there is a bunch of webbing down in there. But as you're getting close to it, you see that it's cobwebs. It's old web. It's not fresh web. And stuck in there are a couple about this big, sort of cocooned up something. You're not quite certain what. And there's a network of iron bars that have spikes on them going up, and iron bars that have spikes on them going down, in an area about that big that you could probably get a bucket or something through.
What are the spikes made of?
It's like iron,
Okay.
and they're a little bit
My
rusty.
arm, my arm can fit in there though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna I'll beat on him with my sword.
The iron
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
Um.
The rusty ones that are on the top.
Okay. What's your goal?
Just trying to break off the pointy things and see if I can make them big enough to like take the things in there out.
They are. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Of course we will.
You are pretty certain that it's going to require the appropriate tools to be able to break these loose. Almost, as you're prying with your sword, lose the grip on your sword and watch it plummet down out of sight, but you're able to catch it, and you keep grinding on it, but you're pretty certain you're going to need appropriate tools to do this. They
Like a
seem to
crowbar?
be like a crowbar. Yeah, you might be able to do something with a block and tackle to tear them out, but they are set back into the rock, and whoever did this clearly knows what they're doing. You are from Bramwell. You speak Dwarvish, right?
Let me check my mind. Yes.
All right. This construction is on par with anything you've seen them do.
Okay.
It's just solid work, based on some of the trade that you've done with your family's done with the mines for raw metal to support your weapons and arm trading. You're just like,
Okay.
yeah, this is solid work. I'm not going to be able to break this out dangling from a rope with a sword.
Gotcha. Are the cocoons within like reach?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you rolled so stinking well.
Well, what do you expect? I'm the best.
There is you hear a plinking sound.
From inside one of them?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Yeah, ping, ping. You're not certain, but there's this echo all around you right now. It's
I'll
like,
try and break one of them open.
all right. So you reach. So are you going to do it with your hand? You're going to do it with your dagger? You're going to do it with your
No,
sword?
I'm going to use my crowbar.
All right. So using your
So that
crowbar.
way,
Okay.
That way I don't actually stab anything in there. I can play it off with a beating.
It's old and tough and kind of thick, and you're putzing with it. And give me another perception check.
Sure.
You see a pebble bounce off your arm from above.
Like where my party is.
Yeah,
I look up. Hey
and
guys, why are you throwing rocks?
and
It's
you
not
see
cool.
another Jenna Bink. Would you make it a hit roll, please?
I mean, Penny. I know we all look the same. Us small people.
Oh, Penny, would
He
you make a
He has binders full of halflings.
Penny? Would you make it a hit roll, please? Actually, Penny and Jenna Bink and Jen's right now, when they're portraits side by side in the stream, look really similar. That's all I'm saying. All right. So, you see, a pebble come right past your head on your right hand side, and everybody smiles and waves.
I'm like, I look up at them and I'm like, hey guys, I'm trying to do some serious uncocooning here.
Did
I'm
you
just making sure you're still alive.
hold it? Hold it. Did you just take both your hands off the rope? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Hey, you can stand on the spikes, right? It's solid dwarven craftsmanship.
You actually can stand on the spikes if you try and do that. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, might as well.
You have absolutely no problem pulling up one of the little cocoon things. You're going to tear it open.
Yeah.
All right. One of them is the rat. All right. Big rat. All right. Big rat. Probably the size of a small dog, and it's pretty desiccated and nasty. All right. Dust comes up from it. What do you do?
Check it out, the rat.
All right. It's Go ahead and make a nature check.
Does it have bite holes like right here? Let me roll my awesome nature.
It's dead. And it's
Thanks,
a rat.
Jim. Okay. Set it off to the side.
I'm setting off the side. Okay. Give me just a quick dex check.
Numbers. Just a skill check, right? Not a save.
Yeah, just a straight skill check.
Oh, my bad.
Dude! All right. That's your fourth 20 today. Anyhow, you
It's
set it
the
down.
dice, people.
You set it down perfectly, and it doesn't plummet down below you.
Oh, how big are the gaps between the spikes?
You had to be careful. I mean, it was only about a DC 10, but if you weren't paying close attention, it'd be very easy to just drop something in between them. All right.
Oh,
so
okay. So the rat's big and is small enough that it would go through the spikes.
If you set it, all right. So, if you set it farther back up against the wall, that's where the gap is the most, right?
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I'll go for another one. I yell up to them. I found a rat. It's dead.
All right. You grab the other one. You can grab it very
Yep.
easily. You pull it up, breaking that one open too.
How many are down there?
Just
4, you
two.
said?
Just two.
No, I'll take the other one. And I'm going to tell them, I have a surprise for all of you, and I'm going to put it in my backpack, and I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to take the rat with me, too.
All right. Go ahead. You can do that fairly easily.
Yeah, Jenna Bink yells down, "Bring the rat with you!"
Yeah.
Make an athletics check.
Okay. I'm going to throw that D6 on top of this bad boy with a hero point.
All right.
Risking my life.
Can maybe you guys, for one time in this entire day, stop yelling?
What?
Oh yeah, it's got some echo to it. It's echoing down, it's echoing up. So pulls himself up hand over hand, pulls himself up over the
I'm
edge.
looking at this rope with a knife, just wanting so bad when he yells.
Did you hear the bell earlier?
Oh, that's a very good point. Delbert certainly, would have called things from all over this floor of the dungeon.
I don't think it was that loud, but yeah, when we were fighting things, probably not super smart to be super loud too, okay?
That's the way it works.
All right, you can see into this room, and on the other side of it, there is another room.
I show them the rat and the other cocoon, and I'm like, I found a rat in this one, probably a rat in the other one. Here you go.
Genevieve takes the rack and looks it over for one of those arcane symbols.
Go ahead and make an investigation check or a nature check. Doesn't seem to be anything on it. And it's old and desiccated. This thing is relatively, in the last couple years maybe, I mean, it's been completely and totally drained. It's clear to you that this was caught in a spider web and was sucked absolutely dry.
Well, it's hard to tell, but clearly this thing doesn't have one of those arcane marks on it. But it could be a due to age, it could be due to size. More investigation is needed.
It's a dead rat. What more do you need to know about it?
Did
Well,
it
clearly I
carry
need
a
to-
disease? And I'll give you a look like. Ugh.
You can make a medicine check if you'd like to, Delbert.
Oh, yeah. Medicine.
Arcane science can be messy. Besides, you have that really cool trick where you can just clean me off.
Some do, to be perfectly honest with you, Delbert. You're not certain if this one does, but some rats do have all sorts of nasty stuff on them.
You can catch rabies.
It's highly unlikely that I'm going to catch rabies off of a clearly desiccated rat.
Just
Although it
saying.
would be incredibly interesting if I got some kind of communicable disease off of this rat after it's been desiccated this long. That would mean that the virus is just incredibly, long-lived and stuff. Maybe we could research it further and find out the secret to long life. See? Even if it's really bad for us, it could be good.
That sounds like a great
I can't
idea.
argue with that logic.
I'm gonna go look in this room now because you guys talk some stuff sometimes that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, I'll come with you. There might be more things for me to investigate.
Go ahead and, Penny, go ahead and drop a perception check into the tower.
I'm going to move the lantern inside the room,
All right.
and then I'm going to move myself inside the room.
Another room in there. You can see sort of a skeleton basement. You see skeletons a lot of places. And, a little bit more wreckage. You look at the sort of a side angle and you get sort of that. And, hang on a second, Penny. I gotta do something real quick. Yeah. Look in there and you can see that there's a room with a rug. The rug seems to be in fairly decent shape. This room, there's a table sitting in the center of it. You can see where there's some smashed chairs. There's a brass brazier right in front of you. You push that light in through. And you walk up to the door.
Yep.
And you step in.
I do.
Outstanding! All right. Let me delete that spider. Let me add these. Everybody give me an initiative check, please. And Delbert, when you enter the room, please make a perception check.
Okay.
Would you like to roll advantage?
Sure, I'll roll advantage.
With inspiration?
Yeah.
All right.
Here's my advantage one. Let's see.
Solid artificer initiative.
As he studied the dead rat. And that cocoon.
There was clearly something interesting on the table.
Arcane science.
Arcane science.
Oh, all right. Um, Delbert, you see coming along the wall that as you step through the doorway. So you will not be surprised by that one. The one over on your left-hand flank, though, will get around a surprise on you. So I'm going to let him make a attack on you, and you see him become visible.
Green means good.
Delbert, strand of webbing comes shooting at you, and we're going to run through a round for just you and the spider. All right, and then I'm going to put everybody in normal initiative. All right, the other spider, who does have the jump on you, also shoots. And he does catch you. He was going to hit you with advantage anyhow. All right. You are now restrained and fall over, wrapped
Okay.
in web. All right. Now we're actually starting the combat. Penny, you see through the doorway two spiders moving up to attack your friend. And they have actually hit him. They're a little bit farther back. They've actually shot and web at him. One chunk hits the wall and misses. Another chunk from the side hits. And it's apparent to you that Delbert didn't see the one over on his left-hand side. He did see the one directly in front of him. What would you like to do?
Um, is it possible to grab Delbert and pull him back?
You may go right ahead and grab him.
All right, I will grab his restrained body and pull Delbert back.
Give me a athletics check.
Sure.
You are only able to drag him over the threshold because he's pretty freaking heavy. He's a full-grown Thonian man. All right, so you drag him about 5 feet, but you're unable to drag him as far as you'd like.
Can I item interaction and try and kick the door as I'm going past?
No, what you're doing is taking your entire turn.
Okay.
So, all right. Very nice though. I really appreciate and respect the attempt. All right, so this spider comes over and through the wall, gets on the wall there, and it is on the wall sideways, and it can it reach anyone from there? Yeah, it goes across the ceiling, so it's directly above you, and it actually attempts to bite Penny.
You all saw the spider go through a wall? Am I having a stroke?
No, what it did is it went along the wall and up along the top. So it came up along the ceiling, up and around, and it's directly above you, and it snaps down. All right, so this thing is spider climbing off the ceiling and takes a snap actually at Penny. And as it snaps at Penny, Penny dodges to the side, and its teeth come down and snap close to its head, and a little bit of venom hits on her neck, but doesn't harm her, obviously.
So the ceiling has a gap in it somewhere.
No, it came through the doorway.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it came through the doorway. All right, but it runs around the. Let's see, it was 1, 2. Yeah, it was under 6 squares. Move for it. So it goes across the ceiling, over the doorway, back up to the ceiling, and it's directly above you because it can spider climb. Right. So the spider's above you, hanging down, and it snaps its teeth. All right. Um, Idris.
Sweet baby, oh dear. I'm gonna burn another advantage off. Daddy needs to hit. Actions. I'm gonna swing on it with my longsword and try and hit it. What the hey just happened?
I'll take it.
Okay. Weird.
Don't know how that happened, but I'm fine with it.
Skills. Alright, there we go.
All right, so you take a chunk out of it.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
Go ahead.
this room is a 15 or a 10.
This is a 15 by 15.
So, okay, so could I hit it from where I was?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
It's a big creature.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't blocking in Jenna. Okay.
Oh, actually, you would have had to move up. You're right. You would have had to move up. All right.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, you hit it. All right, next one.
I'm going to Toll the Dead, the giant spider number 2.
Actually, I got a second spider can't get in right now, so it drops on the floor in front of you. And attempts to bite you first. Whoops, sorry. I dropped the damage on myself by accident. Delbert, you're hit. Delbert, it bites you. You make your saving throw, however. All right, Delbert, you make a successful death save. Jenna Bank, you're up.
Well, that's not how I thought that was going to go. I will pull out the staple gun, and I will use my staple gun of healing on Delbert. Oops.
Delbert, go ahead.
I think it went on you. It needs just
Yeah, it went on me. It should have.
Oh,
My aim was off.
Right.
Jen, the player, failed her dex check to drag the dice over the correct location.
So how much did you heal him for?
I healed him for 10.
All right.
Matt fixed it.
That fixed it.
All right.
So I did that, and I'm realizing that maybe I need to back up a bit.
You will provoke if you back off.
Oh, right.
As she moves away, I'm like, "Where are you going?" Nuh-uh,
I will at least. I'm going to stay within range of it, but I'm going to back up within range of it to not provoke.
Right.
That's all I can do.
All right. All right, very good. We are round 2. Penny.
All right. Penny's going to move directly underneath this thing and attempt to stick it with her sword.
Excellent.
Unsuccessfully. Can I use inspiration on that, or?
Yes, you may.
All right. I shall. Oh, that was not the right thing. Hold on. See if I hit, because then if I hit, you can just leave that on. All right, yeah.
All right, good enough.
And also, we're not seeing Spider 7 in the tracker.
He is there. I can see him, so hey.
Close it and reopen
Now
it,
we
Matt.
can
It worked
see
for
it.
me.
Yeah, perfect. Cool,
Oh.
thanks.
All right, there we go. All right. That spider is going to take a swing at Penny and miss. Again, snaps at you, Penny, and you're dodging it. You just struck up with your sword. It strikes at you again. Idris.
Bobbing and weaving.
I'm gonna
Bobbing and
use my
weaving.
last inspiration and take a swing on Giant Spider 2. The itsy bitsy spider. Oh well, we're having difficulties. Lots of difficulties. Nothing's working.
Idris, hang on a second. So, all of a sudden, all right, you are getting ready to attack. All right. And you see this glowing figure step forward out of the wall beside you. She looks directly into your eyes and she strikes at the giant spider. And she cleaves it. And it curls up in a little ball and falls directly down onto the floor. And she takes and she hands this sword towards you. Pushes it
So
into
I'm
your
totally
hands.
taking it.
All right, you drop your sword, and it's a great sword. You can't wield that in your shield, so you have to adjust your shield too. All right, and give me a second here.
I will unequip out of respect for the weapon.
Are the rest of us seeing this, or
Yeah, you are seeing this.
okay?
Third inspiration's the charm.
All right, so what happens is you see this creature. Go ahead and make an Arcana check if you have proficiency in Arcana. If you don't have a proficiency,
No.
Idris, not relevant for you, but go ahead and make a proficiency check. Delbert, that's an apparition of some sort. Based on the markings on its mask and on the headrest there, you think that is some sort of elf, but that particular version of Kamasti is ancient inscription. I mean, you've only seen maybe one manuscript ever that had that sort of records on it, and it was dealing with the origins of the elves even before the split into Western and Kamasti. All right, this is ancient Elven actually, and it was dealing with that, and that looks like a she to you. And she steps forward, hacks down the spider that was dangling above Penny, and pivots and presses this blade into Idris's hands. And Idris shudders, looks down at his hands, and there's a quick flash of light, and she is
By
gone.
the power of Blackmoor! I'm gonna. Yeah, okay, I guess she moved before me. I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I take the sword. The giant spider 2, I guess, is dead. I move up and just push Delbert out of the way and swing on that giant spider 7
You can't. There's a wall in the way.
through the door. Oh, if I push him to the side, he's restrained. I just knock him over.
You can grab him and move him out of the way, but that'll be your turn.
That's it. That's fine. I'll do that.
All right, athletics.
It's like, move. I have the sword of amazingness.
You're able to toss him to the side.
It's like a wine casket.
Do barrel roll.
Well played.
It drops down on the floor in front of you and leans forward, attempting to bite you. There is a brief flash of white light as it looks like it's coming in to strike you, and you think it's going to go right to the chainmail in front, and it stops like right here in front of you and recoils back, and it sort of shakes its head and hisses at you. And you guys noticed that when he grabbed the sword, there was a super bright white glow around him, and it's starting to fade now. Delbert, you're wrapped in web, and you are
You've been
recovering.
blinded by my charms.
Delbert, you are wrapped in web.
Okay.
What do you do?
I am going to toll the dead on Giant Spider number 2 if he's still alive.
Is there a somatic component? You can still cast spells when you're restrained in 5e. Go ahead. My 3.5 was kicking in. It makes
Okay.
it save. And you hear the
Yeah,
bell ring.
restrained only restricts your movement and gives
Advantage.
advantage on attack rolls against you in 5e.
Yeah. All right, you all set?
Yeah.
All right, Jenna.
Well, I can't use my catapult. Makes me so sad. Is there any position I can get to attack the spider, or like if I stood on the other side of Idris, can I still attack it or no?
No, you would be able to attack with cover if Delbert were out of the way, but the other side of right here, that's wall. There's nothing you can get through, so there's no
Okay.
angle for you. You could step forward, drop everything, and pull out your crossbow, but you got to load your crossbow.
Yeah, no. Can I use my spear to start cutting the web away from Delbert?
Yes, you can go over and get Delbert out of it. It's armor class 10.
Careful, careful.
I'm gonna inspiration that, as funny as that would be. I have no idea what I just did there. Yeah, I'm gonna
We
spend an
don't have.
inspiration point.
Go right ahead, please do. All right, you are
Much
able.
better.
All right, go ahead and roll your damage against the web. It has 5 hit points. She cuts you out, Delbert. Briefly, you see the spear point coming right here, and then it just sort of veers to the side, cuts you out. All right, top of the order.
Thank you.
Penny, you're up.
All right. Okay. The spider's on the ground, correct?
It is on the ground, yes. Now it's on the ground attacking Idris. And Idris did seem to have this nimbus of protection around him, but doesn't seem to be anymore. If you want to shoot, you're shooting through cover, -2 to hit.
Okay, I'll back up here and shoot them.
You have to drop your sword, pick up your bow, right?
Yeah, I'll drop and draw.
Okay. Thunk. Arrow sinks deep into the side. It hisses. All right. That spider is gone. I'm going to pull it off the map, but I will bring it back because I know you guys like to check those things out. Idris, you're up.
I'm busy adding things. I'm going to swing on it with the greatsword.
All right, so the greatsword is glowing like it's surrounded by moonlight, by the way.
Excellent. I no longer need stuff to see. Greatsword. Where did it go? There we go. Okay. It's just like regular greatsword stats, right? For all that.
Yeah, for now.
Okay. +3. And then I'm gonna throw. Yep. Miss.
Go ahead and roll again.
Okay. Where's this thing? There it is.
All right. So there's a glow around Idris that fades a little bit more, and there's just a remnant of it left now. Giant spider attacks. And strikes Idris squarely. Idris is bit. Idris makes his saving throws unaffected by the poison. Delbert, you are no longer restrained. Let me remove that effect from you. You're up.
Okay. I shall move to the point where I can. Can I get on this table?
If you move away from it, it's going to get a free shot at you, even through the door.
I can see it then from
You
where
can.
I'm at.
Oh yeah, you can see it, no problem at all. All
All
right.
right,
So
then I
what's going
shall.
on is you're seeing it like basically do that in and out of the door. All right, and you're seeing Delbert or Idris is swinging the sword at it, or swinging the sword at it, sort of windmilling at it. Go ahead.
I
It
shall
does not.
toll the dead.
It does not save. Oh. All right.
Nice.
You see its head sort of shrinking, the carapace crack, and it shudders from the damage. Jenna.
I am going to attempt to throw my spear at it.
Go for it. It has cover -2 to hit. Would you like to use advantage on that, Jen?
We're fighting here.
You mean would I like to use inspiration? Yeah,
Inspiration,
sure.
yes.
Out of ammo.
So you step forward and heave your spear, striking it squarely between the eyes as it staggers to the ground and falls.
I will quickly run up and get my spear back.
Idris turns, smiles at you, and falls face forward, passing out.
I will do a medicine check on him as I'm walking past him.
Go right ahead. You're dropping down on your knee and checking him out.
Yeah.
He is fine physically. I mean, he's been chewed on a little bit, but he's got this sort of look on his face. It's like he's sleeping and he's relaxed and he's fine.
Delbert, do we know if Idris has been engaging in illicit materials lately?
We do not, but he did get that sword handed to him.
Yeah.
Can I investigate the arcane nature of anything left on him?
Let's do that. Go throw him on that couch in there, and we close up this room so nobody else comes in here and tries to kill us.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to also drag in the body of the other spider so I can also study it while, we're sequestered in this small room.
I'll lift up Idris and pull him into the room.
Okay. So we are going to plunk Idris down on that sofa, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
And then the rest of you are in here, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be investigating Idris and the two spiders.
Excellent. And the door is now locked. Or closed, at least.
This would be so much easier to identify all the things going on if it hadn't been for the fact that I had to, keep healing people with my stable gun. Because I can convert my stable gun into an arcane magic detector.
While she's talking, I'll walk around and investigate this table.
The sword, by the way, that he got looks kind of like that.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's definitely an elven longblade when you look at it. All right, that is not a traditional Thonian greatsword. That's an elven design, no doubt about it.
So what should I be?
Go ahead and do an investigation check for me first. All right. Two of you have a really good idea what's going on. Now you can roll separately or you can roll together for the Arcana check. If you roll together for the Arcana check, you just get advantage, or you can choose to roll separately. Totally your call.
Separately.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have different methodology.
Oh my God, guys.
No cooperative casting.
All right. So he is in some sort of trance. And you have both seen elves in a sleep trance before. You know, elves don't sleep like you guys do. He is um, in sort of a rapture, and one of the things that happens to elves when they are in that state of rapture is it's not uncommon for them to live through past lives. And you can see his eyes flipping back and forth like he is in REM sleep. He is not in physical danger, seems to be fine. His respiration is good, his pulse isn't accelerated, but the closest parallel you can make is that he looks like one of the elves that has shifted into its trance state where they think through sort of the arc of their being, because you know elves live again and again and again and again and again. So that's what it looks like. But he's a Hythonian human. There's not really a biological reason for this from the arcane science perspective. This has to be some sort of mystical event. Now, what you know is that you saw him in contact with this apparition. You know that it looked like some sort of ancient elf, but beyond that, you really don't know. And you guys rolled really, really well to sort of connect the dots there. You had on 4 rolls, 3 rolls above 20, just so you know.
And while they're doing all that, I'm gonna close the door with the purple square around it, and then I'm gonna set up debris on that square, so if anything does come through, I can try and hear it. And then I'll close the door. That's the room that we're in.
All right. Good deal. So you're setting that. Go ahead and do a, let's see, you could do set traps with your thieves tools, right? So just go ahead and give me a thieves tool check in the tower, and basically all you're doing is setting a. All right. So you've set something up so it'll make noise if they cross. Then you go to the second door and close it. Correct?
Correct.
All right. And are you waiting there listening to see if something else is coming?
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
While they're doing all this science-y arcane stuff.
All right. You're keeping everybody alive. Check. All right. So you guys see Penny comes back in, closes the door, and draws her short sword and just sort of waits by the door with her ears perked, looking at you guys, looking back out the door. All right.
I'm also looking at the spiders to look for the same arcane symbol that I saw on the previous one.
Go right ahead. Go ahead and give yourself advantage on the roll because you're getting pretty adept at finding these. Yeah, again, you see this symbol. And these seem to be basically the same. These are both giant spiders, and they're both web-using giant spiders, but they're different species, almost like from two totally different ecosystems. One of them is pretty thick and hairy, and yeah, pretty good investigation roll. You would associate that with. I'll go ahead and give me a nature roll, actually. One of them probably is from a desert biome, and the other one you think might be from some sort of forest biome. That's the only thing you could figure, because they're definitely different species.
But they have the same symbol on them as the previous spider?
Yeah, they did.
It's very interesting that all of the spiders have the same symbol. It's almost as though someone nefarious had some kind of label maker and was like putting labels on everything to remind themselves of what they are. Like, this is spider, this is carrion crawler. That's my hypothesis so far. I'm going to test it further. And as far as Idris goes, well, Delbert, this is very strange because do Thonians believe in reincarnation?
No, well, I'm sure some do.
So, do you have a hypothesis as to why he appears to be in an elven rapture sleep state thing?
I think it has something to do with either the sword or the apparition.
So, not to like dissuade you from your arcane science stuff, but either you figure out how to wake him up, because he ain't really useful to us if he's just lying there all whatever that word is.
He doesn't seem to be in any immediate danger. Let's give it half an hour or so.
Would you like to take a short rest?
That sounds like exactly what we're suggesting, yes.
All right.
Can I use one of my hit die while in the short rest?
You may. Let me give you that rest. Does anyone else need to use a hit die? No, he's the only one that actually lit up then, huh? That time. All right. Also, does a short rest allow you to recharge a spell, Delbert?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
Arcane recovery, right? Yeah.
I don't think he gets that till second.
Okay. All right. So let me do a couple things here, folks. Um, anything else you're doing in this room during the short rest?
I'm going to have my unseen servant roll this carpet up so that we can see if there's anything underneath it. Trapdoors, that sort of thing.
You guys are going to level at this point, but you're going to need to have a break to do so. But anyhow, so you roll the carpet up. Carpet's in pretty good shape. It's probably in the best shape of anything that you've seen here. The work table over against the far wall looks like plans for different sorts of excavation. You almost think that this place was like for like an architect's room or something like that. You can see that there's plans for some shafts. There looks to be plans for um, water distribution through aquifers, through um, conduits, pipes. Shoot, the Romans built them. My brain just locked up. Let me look at my note. Well, anyhow, there's plans for water distribution within the complex.
From the sleeping post, aqueducts.
Aqueducts, yes, there's aqueducts. So, yeah, so there's some aqueduct structure. So it looks like there were some serious plans to do work here. And a lot of you've only got fragments of it. A lot of it's been destroyed, and you can see that their paper's been shredded. It's been used for breading. It's been used for nesting too. Um, Chairs in pretty good shape. There's a couple shattered, wooden chairs. Looks like a small end table smashed over in the corner, and the sofa, little mildewy and nasty, but seems to be in good shape. But Idris is plunked on it right now. Idris, at the end of the short rest, starts to wake up, and Idris, you can't remember exactly what just happened to you. All you know is you have this gorgeous sword next to you, and well, it feels precious to you.
I immediately lick it and go, "This one's mine."
You guys want to check anything else out while you're in this room?
Oh yeah, what was in the other cocoon?
Oh yeah, the other cocoon was another rat.
It's like 2 peas in a pod.
That's right. It was.
I'm gonna. Sorry, Ted.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna check out the door to see if it also has like the cool open close thing. I'm gonna investigate everything else in the room, but I'm gonna see if the door does the open close thing because I never did get to disassemble the other one.
Are you guys formally searching the room then?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Go ahead and everybody make investigation checks except Idris, because Idris was sleeping when you were doing it. So, yes, Genebank, you determined that the door opens and closes, opens and gets wider, just like the other ones did. And you can see that there are controls on either side of the door frame. So, what you could have done is you could have spun open the door so you had a clear line of sight on this guy. You got to check the other doors in the future to see if you can do that if that should happen again. Secondly, after Idris gets up and stands up, you're riffling through the sofa, and you come up with this bone cylinder about about that long, and it's got you know that symbol. It's got set on the top of it a symbol of the Wizard's Cabal.
Oh, well, this is interesting. Delbert, I think you might want this.
Okay.
That is inscribed, and that means that it was made as a legitimately sanctioned item. That it was made given the blessing of the Cabal.
Okay. And I missed what it was.
It's a long, thin tube. Looks like a scroll tube to you actually, and it's really well made.
Okay. I'll take a look.
You unscrewing the top?
Yes.
All right. It looks to you like this might actually be waterproof, this tube, based on what you're seeing. I mean, it's made out of bone, but when you go to open it up, you can see that there's a spongy material that makes a very, very tight seal, and there's a scroll in there. Do you take it out?
Okay. I do.
All right.
I believe the top had the words "no" no on them.
All right. It looks like it's false life.
All right.
Yeah, so you look at it, and you're like, yeah, it's false life, no doubt about it. So it's a scroll of false life, and the tube appears to be waterproof.
Okay. Well, I'll tuck it back in the tube and push the tube into my belt and have it ready.
All right, very good. Okay. All right, folks. Believe it or not, we've been playing for about 2 hours. Um, would you like to take a break, level up your characters, and plot on for a little bit more?
Sure.
Sounds good.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. We will be right back. Thank you so much for watching us. Hope you're enjoying the game, and welcome to the Dungeons of Castle Blackmoor. If this is your first time, thank you so much for watching us.
Tad, how are we doing? Hit points for a level up, or just the average, or are you rolling?
Hang on, I gotta mute you. And we are back. Thank you so much for watching the stream. And we have just taken a short rest after running into a series of spiders. And we are getting ready to make some decisions. Our characters have taken a short rest and have been able to level on the other side of that. So, that being said, what would you all like to do?
Well, I am going to cast ritual identify on the nifty new sword that just appeared in our midst.
Well, it apparently it's magical, no doubt about that, and it radiates light. And so you think it's a moon-touched greatsword from what you can tell. So it's going to illuminate light. It's going to function as a magical weapon. That's what you're getting at this point. So, what I'm going to do real quick here is if you guys could all mute yourselves and mute your speakers, I need to have a conversation with Idris very briefly. So,
You all are the worst team members ever. We're good.
so, she steps forward, right? And when she steps forward, she presses this great sword into your hands, and she, shapes, I guess, kind of what you see for a brief moments, and you know that you were surrounded in this nimbus of white energy, this white light that absolutely and totally protected you. And you, give me a second here. Want to pull her up. This is who you saw. And you turn around from, slaying that spider, right? And you just feel filled with this energy, this power, this force. You've never felt so in control of yourself. You've never felt such a primal sense of well-being and capacity. And you look, and all of a sudden, your eyes white. You can't see anything except this wash of white light. And then you are sitting around a campfire, and there is a ring of other elves around you. And what I want you to do is make a perception check.
Okay.
They're speaking, you think it's Elvish, you don't speak Elvish, but they're speaking Elvish. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're not leveled at this point. That's right.
they're speaking Elvish, and you don't speak Elvish, but you have heard Elvish before, and this is like Elizabethan English. Instead of saying, you are, they're saying things like thou art, right? So you're hearing a little bit of difference in syntax. You've heard enough Elven to know that this is not quite the Elven that you're used to. And there is a relatively tall, thin, Elven woman with a great sword. Hold it, that's you. You look down, and your hands are not your hands. Your hands are her hands, and the sword is resting between your legs. And you look up, and you can't see their faces, but there's a ring. Who are these elves? Who are these elves? Where did they come from? Where are you? And shh, shh. I will share what I can as I can share. Trust me. Will you take a bond with me? Will you?
It looks like I'm already kind of bound up here already. I mean,
Oh,
I did get struck. So yeah, let's ride this dragon.
So, you take the sword and my bond of your own free will?
I look at the sword, look at the craftsmanship, and I'm like, I get to keep the sword, right, if I bond?
Oh, Yes, child, you may keep the sword if you bond.
Soul Blackmoorian.
So, more will become clear. I am bound and may only share little now. The deeper you go, the closer you get, the more freedom I have to touch and to speak. But I cannot say much now. Know that I am your patron, I am your guide, and you are my eyes in the mortal world. And she freezes, and you wake up.
Okay. And that's when I said, of course I'll have some of those muffins. They look amazing.
All right, so everybody plug back in. You're unmuted. Can you hear? All right. Um, Jenna Bank, do you share what you learned about the sword with Idris?
Are we back?
Awesome. Matt, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm back now.
All right, awesome. Okay. Uh, Jenna Bank, do you share with Idris what you learned about the sword?
Like I feel like it's not very scientific, but yes, indeed, I explained that this is a moon touched greatsword, but it shines like the moon, and it's a great sword. So I think even you possibly could have figured that out. So I'm a little disappointed with my research right now.
It's shiny.
Yes. Do I have to explain moon touched to you? Should I use smaller words?
I understand the moon, but how did it touch it? I mean, it's so far up.
I forgot my crayons at the inn. I'm sorry.
Well, I heard you don't need crayons with dark vision.
Well, technically, with my dark vision, I can't see colors very well, so the crayons wouldn't help anyway because they'd all look black or gray. Some realm of black or gray, which is like a monochromatic color deficiency. And oddly enough, within humans, a red-green color deficiency is kind of common. Maybe you have that problem. Maybe that's why crayons don't even work with you.
New sword, who dis?
I'm gonna go
No,
check
I'm
on the
sorry, it's
doors
two-handed.
and stuff, the traps and all that. I got things in another room to look at.
Uh, Penny, nobody has disturbed the door. You can tell that.
I'm gonna go peek outside.
The room is as you left it, including a eviscerated spider.
Oh, no, we brought the spider with us, remember?
Oh, you did bring that one in? Okay.
Yeah, we brought all the spiders in. I looked at all of them. They all had the symbol. We're good.
Idris is stabbing the dead spiders more.
I'm just testing things.
All right. What would you like to do, folks?
We should go check out this hallway thing that runs alongside the door that was
Okay.
open. We never went and looked that place out, you know.
All right. So, show me how you're going to do that. Form up.
I'm gonna crack the light down that hallway, see if I can look through.
Before we step out and start doing our thing again, I'm going to recast my unseen servant.
Very good. All right. you can see about that far with that angle and with that light. And of course, there you go. As you're looking down the hallway, runs to about there. And all right. Okay, so you can see that far well, and you can see out to this next door in shadow. You can see it off in the distance.
Okay, I'll move down this hallway and check it out.
All right. Are you? Oh, let's see. Is everybody following him or no? Or her?
Not to be
Yes,
confused
I'm
with-
following.
All right, very good. What are you doing at the door, Penny?
I'm gonna investigate the door. I'll throw it in the tower frame.
Please do. Oh, it's fine. Looks like a door. It's not locked.
I will open said unlocked door.
All right, there is a long hallway to an archway.
So before I pass through this doorway, because I'm assuming Penny's going to move forward, I'm going to try the open trick with it because this is like the first 5-foot door I found, and I'm curious if it like makes the hallway bigger.
It does not.
Okay. Experimentation.
Absolutely.
Arcane science.
All right, is everybody moving up with you?
Yes. After my brief pause to check the mechanisms.
All right, as you get closer, Penny and Jenna Bink, go ahead and make perception checks, please. All right, Penny, there's a fight going on over here. On the other side of that door, you hear squealing and hissing and clicking noises.
We'll attempt to stealth up and observe and tell everyone. Shh.
All right. You look in there. Whoops, misfire. Whoops. Need to pull them off someplace else. Excuse me for a second.
It's so strange. Like I see things that are there and then they disappear. It's it's like life is some big game.
It's just arcane science.
Well, there is a hypothesis that we're all really just simulations within a larger game. So, yes, that portion is kind of arcane science or philosophy, depending on your perspective on things. Either way, those kind of thought processes and parallel dimensions do give rise to things like the stable gun of healing.
Penny, you look in there, and there are two small rats scurrying around. There is a big old rat, big rat, big rat, fighting with these small, kind of low to the ground, very rapid scuttling spiders. And then there is a bipedal rat with a short sword and a buckler fighting one of the spiders. And you can see that there are three dead rats here and one dead spider piled up on the floor. And it's a full-blown brawl. What would you like to do?
There's rats fighting spiders.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them has a short sword and shield. Did I hear that right?
Yes, you did.
Is there any illumination in this room?
No. They seem to be aware of that there is a light in the room next to you, but they're in a brawl right now. All right. As a matter of fact, go ahead. You made a pretty good perception check. You hear, all right. You hear. Well, go ahead. Give me a perception check. Give me one more. Right where you are now. Okay. You hear all sorts of squeaking and stuff from directly in front of you. The two little rats, all right, one in front of you and one off to the left that you can see, they're standing up on their hind legs, and they look like normal rats. And one of them is darting in and biting on the leg, and the other one's putting his paws up on his head like this, standing on his hind legs, shaking its hand and squeaking and waving its finger. All right, waving its little paw. What would you like to do?
Who does it look like is winning right now?
Spiders.
I will motion for the rest of the group to come up. And then I'll probably take some pot shots at a spider through the door. I don't know if you want us to roll into initiative or just roll the attacks.
I will go ahead and make your attack, and then we'll go into initiative based on that. Is everybody positioned where they want to be when we make an initiative roll?
I'm gonna move. I'm always interested in rat fights.
All right. Hit! Arrow sinks straight down into it. And these don't seem to be as sturdy as the spiders you were fighting. It's taken some serious damage. Everybody, give me an initiative roll. All right. And we're off. Top of the order. That wolf spider spins and tries to attract the giant rat that it's been fighting, and the giant rat is hit. The giant rat makes his saving throw, though. Next giant wolf spider comes in behind the guy with a sword standing there, and he strikes him from behind. And he hits him. And he manages to avoid being paralyzed. Next spider makes the same attack on the rat who is standing there, hits him again, and drops him. And they both of them pounce on him and start to feed. You see him sucking the juice out of him. Giant rat attacks, and it gets advantage on the roll. Doesn't need it. Hits, and takes a chunk out of that, killing the wolf spider that had been hit. Penny, you're up again.
All right. Let's see. So that wolf spider is dead. All right. So can we use our second level abilities? There's some
Yes, you may.
discussion about that.
I'm letting you
All right.
guys level.
Cool. I will bonus action Hunter's Mark the wolf spider 18. I'm gonna try to move to here to get an angle on him through the door and shoot.
Hit. I'm going to assume that you open the door all the way so it's not blocking for you, okay?
Okay.
Arrow slams into it and it hisses. Idris, you're up.
Okay. People are standing in front of the doorway, right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay, I'm gonna walk in. 10, 15, and I'm going to swing on it with my longsword. And take it out. And as I take it out, I'm like, that's how we do it down here. And continue moving forward.
All right. Oops. It's not attempting to hit the rat foot. Is attempting to hit Idris. I'm going to remake that attack. Does not hit Idris. Genevieve, you're up.
All right, I am going to step forward, and I guess we've all decided that we're going to attack spiders. So, actually, you know what? I am not going to step forward. Yeah, I'm just going to sat from here and do some acid splashing.
All right.
So I pull out my little gadget that's like it's like a spidey web shooter, but instead it's, me casting acid splash. Boo!
Save is made.
I made it waste a really high roll, so that I did my job.
Are you attacking both of them since they're next to each other?
So actually, that's a good question, Tad. The spell says within 5 feet. Is the orthogonal cool?
Yeah, you may.
Or the diagonal?
You may.
Sweet. Come on. Why did it cast it, but it didn't say if it's successful?
Well, it could be that you just hit the one that's dead.
Oh. Well, then.
Oh, nope. It's down. You're good.
Okay.
You were good.
So do I roll damage? I mean.
Let's see. I gotta say.
I was trying to go after. Oh, yeah. So 18 was dying. Actually, with that in mind, I probably would have gone after 5.
Go for it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I was not aware of all the things that had already died. Clearly. There we go. See, now my life feels like it matters.
There we go. Delbert.
Vector, and attack.
All right, I'm going to. I can see Wolf Spider 7 from where I'm at.
Oh.
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm going to toll the dead on that spider.
You actually would have to move 5 feet over, but that's no big deal.
I can do that.
Yeah. Bong.
Is he damaged?
He is not.
No, he is.
He is indeed. Anybody swinging at the rat as it runs past you?
No.
All right, it goes whipping past you guys, gets behind Delbert, and turns around and is looking like this. All right, top of the order. This big old ugly, tough-looking rat jumps on the spider from behind and misses. Penny, you're up.
All right, I'll move into the doorway and shoot at the spider using my bonus action to move my hunter's mark to him.
Hit. All right, he goes down.
And then I'll move back here and end my turn.
Genevieve, what are you doing?
Oh man, I got skipped.
Yeah, it should be Idris.
Oops, sorry. Idris, what are you doing?
Can I do anything to help that poor rat that was knocked out?
Nah, he's
dead.
yeah.
Okay. The other doors are closed then, right?
Right.
Cool. I'm gonna walk over to the giant rat and put my sword down.
Jenna, what are you doing?
I am stepping into the room and conducting an ethnographic study of what is occurring between the rat and Idris. That is all I am doing.
All right. Delbert, what are you doing?
I'm also going to move into the room. And I'm observing the rats to see what they're doing.
Okay.
Ethnographic study for arcane science.
This rat climbs up on the big giant rat and seems to like be trying to ride it. All right. And starts to steer it over here.
Follow his lead.
This rat comes walking over, turns around, looks up and says, "So, this could have been really bad for us, and I gotta tell you, I appreciate you coming in and beating on them damn spiders. They're just so annoying to us. So I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your assistance in this thing."
Penny, you really throw your voice really well these days. I mean, I know you're short and all, but that's pretty impressive.
I'm over here. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I was watching.
You man, look at me. I talk at you. You man.
Oh, you're fascinating. So you're a rat that can talk. So where are you from? What is your species? What do you call yourselves? What is your culture? Can you please describe yourself to me?
And I like take copious notes.
Why
You're welcome.
So, I'm Quickfoot, and that's Bright Eye, and you see the big old giant rat over there? He's number 14, just so you know. And sadly and unfortunately, the rat man who is leading us is dead. So that
We need
means
a new leader.
This is crazy. There's a giant sniveling, talking, furry creature talking to this nice rat over here.
So, yeah. Let me kind of explain to you how this works. All right. We kind of works. We kind of works for Linda's saving me because I was a gagging. Thanks, honey. We kind of works for the queen rat, who kind of has to work for the rat men, who kind of has to work for them other rats. So we got three types of rats here. Let me explain the three types of rats. We got the rats that look like us, who are so pretty, and we groom ourselves well. We take good care of the little rat babies. We're awesome little rat kind of folks. We got us. We just stay rats. We're never more than rats. All right. Then we got the rats that kind of look like men's, that is half kind of rats, and they're kind of normal looking rats, but they're kind of pushy and shovey, and they breed us, and they make us do things, and they're nasty fuckers sometimes, I'm telling you. And then we got the rats that can look like a rat, or look like one of you folks, or look like one of the rat men dudes, right? And they're in charge, because nobody can hurt them, and they will fuck you up. All right. So what us low rats do ever since we've been trapped here and we lost the sky is we do whatever they say or they fuck us up. So that's kind of how it works. But the queen of the rats, she kind of knows that this is kind of fucked up, and she's been saying that it's been fucked up for quite a while. And I'm thinking that maybe if I take you maybe to her, if you wanted to do that, we might be able to come to some sort of agreement amongst us all.
One quick question: are you firstborn?
No, I don't know. I think, my particular litter had like 9 rats in it, and I think there's 2 of us left now.
That's perfect. I will lead your revolution. The
Oh,
firsts are no longer first; they shall be last, and those who are not first shall be first.
All right, I think we can go with
Wait, doesn't
that.
that mean they'd then be first, and then you'd have to kick them back to the back of the line, and that would iterate infinitely?
Yes,
And
and that is how you keep the wheel fair.
So the rat
crayons. I need to
picks
remember
up a piece of
crayons.
scrap wood off the floor, puts on a nail, and he's trying to do the math on what you just said.
uh, I wouldn't bother listening to him. All right, so
Tosses it down.
what else is here? Basically, what you want is you want us to find these other rat people, talk to your queen, and make sure they ain't a problem anymore. But what else is on this level here? We saw some spiders. We see you folks. We saw a big thing that was eating on some dead bodies. What else? What else lives
Well,
down
we
here that we
we
expect?
mostly stays here, because that's the area we've been given to. And what the rats do is they breed like us in different areas, and they have us do things in specific ways. I know that there's a down below, and in the down below there's more rats and there's more spiders, and then there's another down below like that where there's more rats and more spiders, and they're like fighting with each other all the time. And there's a whole bunch of used to be alive kind of but now dead things too, and they're fucking scary. And also occasionally you'll see them coming through, and you just get the fuck out of the way. There's these, clockwork things too that, kind of grind along and stuff, and they clean the place up and they drag the bodies out, and occasionally you're going to find like this, statue kind of thing that they made out of stuff that's pretty nasty looking if you ask me. I mean, if you're going to stretch all that good hide and meat all over a frame, you might as well eat it. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to put it up there and dry it and, call somebody up for it. So that's kind of the folks that is here. And of course, there's the queen rat, and there's the baby rats, and then there's the big rats, and then there's a few really big rats, like the biggest rat you ever seen ever. And then there's some of the rat men, and then there's some of the, rats that you can't hurt. So that's kind of what's here. And there was
Hey,
spiders, but from the direction you came from, I'm thinking there's maybe a lot less fucking spiders, is all I'm saying. Now, the spiders come up the stair way, way over on the other side, and we got 2 stairs here that are ours, and we move ups and down them and stuff. But that's kind of all I know, because I've never been off this level. This is just stuff that I heard.
well,
I
it
have
sounds like
so
those
many
that are
questions.
oppressing you are rat bastards.
Rat bastard, yes, we're rat bastards. And I want you to say that with respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you are a rat bastard, but they are rat bastards.
Yeah, they're rat bastards. They're rat bastards. I understand exactly what you're saying. But I'm telling you, the thing that's tough here is we lost the sky. And since we lost the sky, we've been trapped here, and we either got to fight for these guys or they kill us. And if we went off by our own, we'd probably get killed anyhow. Because there's stuff that eats rats here. A lot of stuff that eats rats. And it doesn't matter, we got all these, vents we go through, and all these passages and stuff that we go through that ain't out here in the big spaces like this. And we can hide in them, but, have you seen the tentacle thingy?
Oh no! Please describe the tentacle thingy in great detail.
Oh, it's the size of 8 of him. And he points over at number 14. He goes, it's the size of 8 of him. And it's got these, like, tentacle thingies on it. And if it hits you with the tentacles, you end up stuck in an exciting action pose. And then it eats you. And it may eat you tail first, so you got to go through being eaten and not moving all the way till it gets to your head. I've seen it happen. So there's a lot of stuff. You killed... Oh! I'm telling... See? You'll go, folks. I can tell you'll go, folks.
So where do you guys come from before you lost the sky? Like where was he at before he was here?
Oh, we was in the city of towers. There was all these towers that went way up into the sky. And the people there made these ships that could fly. And one of the best things you could do is you could sneak on board one of these ships that could fly, and you could go someplace and you could make more babies in other places and take over more territory. It was awesome. And then you could trade back with the home. The only problem with the sky, is we're not as smart there as we are here. And the Queen's worried that we'll be dumb again if we go there. But at the same time, being smart, being pushed around, it's one of those things where you got to make a decision. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about you guys, but maybe we talk to this queen rat lady and see what she wants to do, see what she's got to say. Maybe get a safe place to rest, perhaps, away from all the horrible things trying to kill us in here.
Sounds like a plan. We can make some deals, knock it out of the park.
We need to go lower at some point because there are clockwork things, and clockwork things normally mean arcane science. And as it is, I've been really concocting some new things as far as like ways to detect arcane, like the pure arcane things, like the stuff that Dilbert does. Like I've been working on that, and like if I could find a clockwork thing, I could figure out how to like make a friend because I need friends. Yeah.
You can find friends at bars, lady friends and man friends. It works. Down here we found rat friends. There's friends everywhere. It's a friendly place.
Yeah, there's rat friends up there too.
But not as smart.
Oh, there's rats. Do you folks come from the city of towers or no?
We from a different city. It's called Blackmoor.
Blackmoor? Oh, use us from the place where they keep shoving guys down here and they keep getting eaten, right?
Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. We've been seeing you folks come through. You know what I mean? And it seems like some of you come through. Bad things will happen to a bunch of us. You know what I mean? And they go on someplace else, and then it changes. It's like the place changes sometimes, And anyhow, yeah. Okay, I know where you're from. You're from the Blackmoor place. Okay, I understand that. So okay, good. Blackmoor, yeah.
So yeah, Queen of Rats. We could meet the Queen of Rats. Is she nice? Do you think she'd let us stay for a night so we could rest and not get eaten, as you said?
Oh, she might. I mean, she might. Yeah, if you couldn't cut a deal with her, I mean, she could be she's the queen, right? So, she expects, a certain amount of deference and respect, I'll tell you that much. But at the same time, she ain't happy with what we're going through. So, you could probably cut a deal. I think you could cut a deal. And the other rat sitting over next to him goes, yeah, well, listen, you run your mouth an awful fucking lot, man. I'm going to tell you, if these, fucking humans go back in there and she don't like them, she's going to kill you and she's going to fucking jump them too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we can't fucking go on the way it is. We got to try something else. I don't want to hear it. I just hope you're not fucking screwing up here. Because if you are, I'm going to do nothing but feed your body to the babies. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck you. No, fuck you. All right. So they go back.
I turn to Idris, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think that
You need to help us here.
I've handled worse negotiations in my life. You should have seen when I was asking for an increase in my allowance last week. It was tough, but we made it. First thing, gather all the spider bodies
Wait,
and bring them.
you still get an allowance?
Okay, I'm not the only one. Thank you, Penny.
Don't you receive 500 gold pieces a month?
I've never seen 500 gold pieces in one place.
I reach into my pocket and I take out one. It's like this, but at least 400 times as many.
I don't think you did the math right there, but
I take back everything I said.
Oh,
all right.
all of y'all take inspiration from using me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna gather up the spider bodies, stuff them in a bag. The rat, what is it? One rat died, right?
The Rat Man died. Yeah, and they sucked him dry.
Okay. And he's the one they have a problem with, or he was actually their leader?
Um,
Or he's like the go-between they don't like?
He's like Elon Musk.
tell you what, make an intelligence check, PJ.
We will attempt to. Oh, my bad. It was great. I did great.
All rats are created equal. They're all friends.
Okay,
It's a perfect society. They're all unified.
gotcha. Let's roll.
Okay, so it is 6 p.m. Eastern. We played for about 3 hours today. Congratulations, your second level. I really, really, really appreciate it. I think we're gonna, call it for today. And to everybody watching, I want to thank you for watching. And if you are on Twitch Prime, I would suggest that you want to burn one of your subscription on one of these outstanding role players. That would be excellent. They would appreciate it. Also, follow us if you would like, because we appreciate it. And before we close, questions for everyone. Just what we always do every week. And I'm going to start with Matt and Penny this time. Matt, what did you learn about your character or about your colleagues this adventure? What did you learn about Blackmoor, and what did you find most interesting?
I found they are capable of being less loud in the dark, scary parts. We're still working on it. It's a work in progress, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the point where they're not just throwing stuff around and banging pots in the middle of a place where everything's trying to kill you. But we're getting there.
Very good. Delbert.
Well, if you can't make light, make sound, right? Um, I learned that if you stand too close to something flammable, the danger might not come from the enemies. And that there's red people down here who can talk. That looks promising.
So, Jenabink, where you at?
I learned that people go up, people go down. I have to use the staple gun far more than I thought I would be using the staple gun, and that I will have to stick out and try to be patient as much as I want to go running, screaming into the lower depths and finding clockwork things.
Outstanding. Idris.
I believe I have found my calling to bring these rats into the light and get them to work for me. I believe that is my new goal.
Excellent.
They're smart, they're tiny, they can go places other people won't, and no one's going to look at them.
Well, very good. And to give you some context, Fritz Leiber, who directly contributed to Appendix N, and Dave and I talked a lot about Fritz Leiber. One of the Fafhrd and the Grey Mauser stories, one of the only novel, actually deals with rats and Lankhmar, and this is a homage to that. And this particular idea is an expansion of that and a conversation he and I had once. So, thank you all so much for playing today. Thank you all so much for watching today. And next week, 3 o'clock, we will be exploring the dungeons of Castle Blackmoor just a little bit more. Thank you all so much and have a
One of
great
the
day.
things,
Oh,
one of the
yeah,
things,
and we're going to go raid someone. Thanks, Jimmy.
one of the things that Twitch offers is the ability to raid into another channel, and sometimes that works out as far as viewers goes. And at any rate, the person that we're going to be raiding into is Domestic Dan. Um, he plays various characters over on Table Story. The one I like the best is on Nocturne. He plays a character who is a professor. Do you remember the name of the professor?
No, but he is tremendously scary. And
Yes.
yeah, Dan runs this really, really awesome character that is conflicted. He's got some arcane knowledge that has kind of corrupted him and twisted him, and his performance is just spot on. Everybody who plays a Nocturne is just a tremendous role player.
So say hi to Domestic Dan, and you can also see that show on twitch.tv/Table Story, and quite a few others too. All right. Thanks, everyone. Say hi to Domestic Dan when we get there.